Well, welcome to the Angels Are Networking Virtual Summit. Hello, my name is Ken Reeves, and I will be your moderator for this exciting session today called Technology and Your Business Success. I have the pleasure to introduce you our speaker, Victor Montgomery, who is an innovative, forward-thinking technology expert with over 15 plus years of IT experience. He draws upon his many years of experience within the technology ecosystem by providing easily implementable solutions for small to business size solutions. Recently, Victor launched his namesake company called Montgomery Conda Enterprise with the mission of delivering solutions by removing barriers and obstacles. The slogan, "Flattering the box to see the world around you," is how Victor approaches every interaction. And he is always on the lookout for opportunities to maximize outcomes with already available resources. And additionally, Victor works as Director of Internal Audit for a Fortune 50 insurance company and serves as President for a local Atlanta nonprofit. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Victor Montgomery. All right, Victor, take it away.
For that intro, I really appreciate it. How are you doing, Angels? Really excited to be here with you today. We were experiencing minor technical difficulties with the presentation and the resources of the computer, so we'll see if everything works out. But I am extremely excited to be a part of Angels Are Networking, and more excited even to be a part of the summit today. Due to the pandemic, it's been really challenging to find opportunities to come together, network, and just share out various ways for businesses to be more successful. So I thank the director and staff of this event, Charmaine Reeves, for allowing us another opportunity to come together as entrepreneurs and small business owners to share best practices within our organizations, respectively. Let's take a little peek behind the curtain here. So again, my name is Victor Montgomery. One thing about me that I kind of thrive in is allowing my faith to drive all the things I do. I live by the philosophy, no accidents. I do not believe it's an accident that at one point I became connected with Ken Reeves, that also connected me to Charmaine Reeves, which allowed me to be a part of Angels Are Networking. And I believe it's no accident that I am here with you today. God consistently positions me to make room for my gifts. Then there's my family. My family is my North Star. I have 3 beautiful children and an amazing wife that supports me in everything I do. All the things that I aspire to be in life is because of the motivations that they give to me and the things that I want to impart and leave with them. The legacy that I want from my family is a major driver in what I do. And then there's community. Enabling the success of others, I consider that my superpower. I believe in giving back, and I do that tirelessly. As Kim mentioned in the intro, I am the president of a local nonprofit here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I will give 100% of my time to nonprofits if I have the ability to. But exposing others to things that I didn't have access to when I was younger, or giving professionals an opportunity to grow in a discipline that maybe they thought was too challenging, those are things that I'm just extremely excited about. And then there's one of my favorite passions. I can't say it's number one, because faith and family is definitely my number one passion. But technology, oh, I love technology. I love all things technology. Whether it be from the hardware side and you're dealing with robotics, or if it's dealing with what's more of my discipline, the software side. So when you begin to think about developing applications, whether they are mobile applications or web applications, I just love technology. If you ever want to sit down and just chat tech, I'm the man. And I'm not saying that I'm an expert in all technologies, but I will say I am an expert talker in all technologies. We can chat a really long time about anything tech. So, why are we here today? Today, I want to talk about a few things with you. I want to talk about customer relationship management software. And as you saw on the intro slide, I said duct tape CRM, right? And we'll get into more about duct tape here pretty soon. But I want to tell you or share opportunities with you on how to maximize the success of your business leveraging technology. I'll mention a few popular CRMs, and then I'm going to jump into really what I'm here to talk to you about today, which is what I consider my duct tape framework. I'll go through a use case. Again, very simple use case, but I want you to take the example of the use case and see how it can apply to your business and the outcomes that you're looking to accomplish. And then hopefully we'll have enough time in the end to talk about or go through a few questions that you may have or comments that you may have. I will say, if you're part of the session and you do have questions, you can definitely leverage the chat, but we will try to encourage you to hop online as well and share your questions if you're open to that. So I just wanted you to have that information up front, just in case you need to throw on a different shirt or brush your hair down or whatever the case may be, you'll be prepared to get on camera. So, why should you use a CRM? One of my favorite slogans, which I got off of a T-shirt that I received at a conference, is "Data is the new bacon." Right? I am an individual that loves bacon, and bacon goes well with anything. Right? You see people wrapping bacon around hot dogs, which is still very interesting to me. You have bacon on donuts. You put bacon on sandwiches, but bacon's just universal. You can use it in any way, and typically that thing that you put bacon with, it just turns out better. And so, using that, I see CRMs is giving you the ability to maximize on the data that you have available to your organization. So that's one of the reasons that you want to leverage a CRM is, how do you take those insights and the data that you have available, and how do you begin to make smart decisions utilizing that information? And then there's the automation part of CRMs. CRMs make it very simple to tailor communications, to engage your customer base based on how they want to be engaged, based on the experiences that they've had with you, right? You can segment your customer base in such a way that your communications feel like you're talking personally to them. And all this is leveraged within your CRM. You don't have to uh, put much effort behind it. Some CRMs even give you smart insights where they suggest things that you should do with your customer base. The other piece that I'll add is that it's efficient. Wouldn't you like to get hours of time back per day? Can you imagine what it would be like to have an opportunity to do some other things, whether it be focus on a different part of your business, or maybe even start another business, or spend time with family? Those are all things you could do if you were able to make your processes more efficient. And a CRM is one way that you can make your business processes extremely efficient. What are some popular CRMs out there today? So currently you have Zoho, which is probably, at least from my perspective, one of the more popular CRMs out there. Does a great job with the features that it has, competitive price, but I think leveraging Zoho could be a great opportunity for a mid-sized business that brings in a decent amount of revenue. HubSpot. So I am one that loves free, right? So free 99 is what we call it sometimes, but that 99 throws me off. So I just love free. When you look at CRMs like HubSpot, They do offer within their platform a freemium option. And what freemium is, they give you the basics for free, but when you start to engage in more complex uses of the platform, of course, a price is associated with it. And then you have what I consider, the Tesla, or prior to Tesla, I would have said the Cadillac of CRMs. That's Salesforce. Salesforce offers many options for you to engage your customer base and gain additional insights. Salesforce, for those of you that are familiar with technology, uh, has data science behind it, so it can help you predict what people are thinking, what they're doing, all based on the data that you have available on your customers and potential customers, right? So Salesforce is the thing that you would go after if you are scaled. Like if you feel like your business is just going to blow up and have many customers, you'd want to look at something like Salesforce. Again, there's a cost associated with it. So you get what you pay for, but definitely Salesforce, I would say, is top echelon. And then you have Zendesk. Zendesk, again, another opportunity for you to engage with a very popular, well-known CRM. Now, all of these options are great, right? But of course, I'm here talking to entrepreneurs. I'm talking to small business owners. So, what if you didn't have the ability to leverage one of these CRMs? How could you engage with your customers? How can you keep track of payments, sales, engagements without investing a lot of time? Now, the one thing I will tell you before I go to my next slide is that sweat equity is not a thing of the past. So, although a lot of the tools are being created that allow you to skip opportunities to learn and grow, there's nothing you can do to replace sweat equity. So you will have to invest time in learning, invest time in just giving back to yourself in order to avoid paying some of the prices associated with the CRMs I have listed on the screen. Now, at some point in your business venture, it may be extremely valuable for you to leverage one of the tools listed or any of the additional CRMs out there. There are many values to these tools that go far beyond basic use cases. But what I have to share with you today, I have a feeling that you're going to appreciate it. So, what do I want to share with you today? Today, I want to share with you my duct tape framework for CRM. And when you think about it, is there anything, when you just think about it, is there anything you can't accomplish with duct tape and hardware? And when I think about duct tape, I think of a story, right? When I was younger, just learning to drive, my dad allowed me to basically take over his old 79 Chevy. And it was a very big car. I'm not the handiest person in the world, but it did the job. It wasn't the best running car, but it got me from A to Z whenever I needed it to. Well, there was this time that I was driving in Chicago on a very congested expressway, and just so happened one of the tubes had disconnected under the hood, and it sprayed a lot of water onto my windshield. It was dirty water, couldn't see. Fortunately, I didn't hit anything. I was able to pull off to the side. Now, I had at that time my girlfriend, now my wife, uh, in the car with me, and so I tried to pretend like I knew what I was doing. So I went, popped the hood, looked under there. I saw the tubing that had disconnected, and mentally I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I do from here? I called my dad. I said, "Hey, Dad, something's wrong with the car. I just was driving. A bunch of water splashed on the windshield, and I see that there's this tube that came apart." And he was trying to talk me through how to reconnect it. Just so happened, a nice pedestrian came over, pulled over rather. So a fellow driver pulled over, came, helped me out. He had duct tape. And he said, hey, I can fix this for you. He took the duct tape out. He wrapped it around the tube, connected it back to where it disconnected from, and he said, hey, you can go along your way now. I promise you, I did not take that car to the shop. The duct tape that the guy put on there lasted for years without me doing anything additional to the vehicle. The only thing I had to do is when I made it home is fill it with a little bit more water at that time. But the duct tape did the trick. I didn't worry about that tube anymore, and actually I forgot about it. But that's the same mantra I want you to hold when you think about the duct tape framework. So the duct tape framework builds on Montgomery Enterprises model of flattening the box to see the world around you. Now, what does that mean? So typically in business or just in corporate careers or whatever you're doing, people will tell you think outside of the box. Sometimes you see thinking in the box. But if you think outside of the box, you can see clearly in one direction. However, if you turn towards the box is blocking you from seeing everything else around you. If you're inside the box, the only thing you can see are the four walls of success within the box, right? So when you flatten the box, you keep the box with you, but you put it at a level by which you can see everything around you. And our mantra builds on the concept that you already have access to all you need to be successful. And your greatest limitation is past success. And now you may think to yourself, why is your past success a limitation? Think Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster had amazing success. And they actually had an opportunity to purchase Redbox. But in their mind, they couldn't see beyond that hypothetical box that they were in, that box of success. Who's going to purchase DVDs or rent DVDs out of a kiosk? Well, we know how that turned out. Now, I'm not saying Redbox is this amazing company at this point, because now you've had streaming services that have kind of taken the model and went much further than Redbox could go. But if you were a Blockbuster of that time and you had the foresight to adapt and adopt innovation, and you're able to bring on that Redbox that actually wanted Blockbuster to purchase it, then you could have been the streaming service of today. You could have been the Netflix, the Amazon Prime. That could have been Blockbuster. But this is why we want you to flatten the box so you can see everything going on around you. All right? Business need plus hard work plus a little duct tape, hashtag profits. That's what we call it. That's your money. So what I want to do is walk you through a simple use case that I had quite recently leveraged for this concept. And then I'll tell you what the duct tape is in this particular use case. Right? So I had an AAU basketball organization that was interested in maximizing on its efforts. So you had people constantly doing manual activities to achieve outcomes, whether it was communicating to parents and players, registering players, just anything you can think of dealing with a large team, they were doing manually. Now, granted, one of those 4 CRMs that I listed initially, as well as other applications that are available for team sports, could have done the trick. The challenge is that the organization didn't have many funds to be able to invest in some of that tool. And the free tools that were offered, it did just enough to get them by, but the minute they wanted to do something that was a little bit more complex, it would have required them to go into a contract with that particular application service that just wasn't in their budget. So on the screen, you see I have here, just some highlights of the use case: ability to register and capture player information, track payments, automate communications, whether it was to people on the team, for the teams or the coaches, whether we were about games or fundraisers. But then one of the beauties that they called out is they wanted a reusable solution. So they didn't want to recreate the wheel every single year. And of course, that's where I came in. So most of you are familiar with most things Google, whether it's Gmail, whether it's Google Drive, and you can do spreadsheets, forms. We're familiar with Google, search engine. So in this example, Google was my duct tape. All right. So I sat down with the organization and I was able to take their use case and basically create them a framework that was very similar to the CRMs that existed, but it was a free framework. So we're able to leverage Google registration forms, Google Sheets, and email templates in order to achieve the desirable outcomes of what they need. So the Google form I created was specific to capture the player information, and then I was able to put a few pieces of information in the background that wasn't visible to the registrant that allowed me to keep track of each of them. That information fed directly into Google Sheets. The Google Sheets that were created, I was able to take advantage of those to create a mail merge. And if any of you are familiar with Microsoft Excel, you're probably familiar with doing mail merges back in the day when you're printing labels out. And so very similar concept here. I was able to create a mail merge. Once I created that mail merge Google Sheet, I then went to Gmail to create email templates. And in those email templates, and I'll show you a quick sample, after this screen, I was able to call out particular fields from the spreadsheet that I wanted to create unique emails for. So it went to each individual person, automatically, and it filled in information based on what I wanted it to put in from the Google Sheet. With that, the organization's admin staff was able to wipe the sweat off their head, and they were able to relax. They were able to give more focus to the team, give more focus to practice, give more focus to setting forth an agenda that would make them a successful organization. They no longer had to worry about sending out email communications to parents and tracking everything, right? And I know we're cutting close to time here, but I really want you to take this screen to heart. This is extremely important because you have everything you need available to you to execute and do what some of the larger companies are doing and they're selling to you. You can do it for free. It just takes a little bit of sweat equity or hiring people like me that can do it for you for a tiny price. Tiny price, nothing much, right? So with that, this is just a sample of what was created. So you see here we have a registration form for the season. We also have a form upload where you can capture a lot of the information about the players, like the birth certificates, school, progress reports, etc., insurance information. But then you see the email, right? So when you look at the email here, the things that are captured in brackets, these are things that are coming directly from the Google spreadsheet that's connected to this templated email. And so in order to use this templated email, all you have to do is save it as a draft in your Gmail, and voila, you're good to go. You've created an automation process by where now you can just click a button in that spreadsheet, it would automatically attach to this email, and it will send everything from that inbox. So pretty exciting stuff, pretty simple to do. But again, if this is something that interests you, feel free to reach out to me on Gmail. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always available, whether it's just talking shop. As I mentioned, I love technology, but would love to be of assistance to you and your organization, your business, if necessary. So with that, I'll invite Ken back just in case we have any questions from the audience. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing my screen as well, just because that was causing audio issues.
Well, Victor, definitely enjoy that session, and I know others as well. You mentioned about bacon. I was thinking about, I actually had eggs and bacon this morning. So everyone loves bacon. But there were a couple of questions I want to share and maybe ask you that was asked. And one question was, what was the process of connecting your Gmail to the mail merge template?
Oh, great question. So very tactical question, but if I would suggest, at a high level, hit it. So within your spreadsheet, you have the ability to create what's called macros. And basically macros is just a little bit of software development that's in the back end that makes your spreadsheet more powerful. That macro has the ability to connect to Google Gmail. You do have to accept some permissions that will give you a notification to say, hey, is it okay if we connect this spreadsheet to your Gmail? Once you approve that, then you have the ability to do that mail merge. Great question.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. I see another one coming in. How do you avoid duplication of communications via the mail merge?
Yeah, so one thing the organization was there's a date timestamp field within the spreadsheet. So it's something that the organization administrators would probably never look at. But if that date timestamp field is filled in, it has the ability to skip that row. So let's say you have new registrants that you want to send out a communication that you sent 2 weeks ago. You can do that utilizing the same spreadsheet, but because that timestamp is filled in, it will bypass each row that has a timestamp associated and just go to the rows that never received the communication.
Okay. So one more question, and that is, how did you help the business track responses to their inquiries?
Awesome question. And I think that was probably one of the more important things, especially when you begin to think about price. So on your Google Forms in your spreadsheets, the company utilized Zelle and PayPal for payments. And so as that information came into that email, I did a quick alert system to alert the administration to the fact that they were receiving payments from certain players. And then they were just able to go and check it off on the spreadsheet. Again, the spreadsheet, it was one spreadsheet that has all the information, and then the administration can go in and they can look and they can see what people paid, what people didn't. It was as automated as it could be, minimal manual interaction, which is what they desired, and it worked out well. So to the onlookers, I would say, take that example, apply it to your particular business. Trust me, there are things you can do to make it more efficient. The only thing you have to do is take a moment to take a step back and view the opportunities based on your current resources.
Excellent. Well, Victor, we really appreciate you sharing that knowledge here today. Once again, everyone, if you would like to reach out to Victor, you can reach him at victor.montgomery@gmail.com for any technical assistance and strategy. And so, Victor, thank you very much. And we appreciate all what you've shared today. And thanks again. Have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Everyone.